where you break the shit open and you see the bone.
Ooh.
Had one of those. But I was quite lucky actually, that's just bruises and that was the worst thing. I had to go to hospital for. But yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
When you did that scary jump, you couldn't roll after that?
You wouldn't roll on a precision jump like that because it's only a small, the impact is not from height. You would only do a roll if the jump is from a height higher than your height.
Yeah.
So this was two legs of that. Sorry, I didn't explain that. So it was a gap jump. So there was a gap in between, and there's a wall, two walls apart from each other. So you're jumping in position jumps at the yeah. So yeah. But I did it for like that intense for about 5 or 6 years at that intensity.
It's very, very nice and awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I got Star Trek related question,
Yes.
if that's okay.
Yes.
I have a question. How do you feel when you get to first time fit into the uniform, and how does it feel to step on the bridge for the first time?
So those two things kind of happened at the same time, right? So I was the first. It was called a camera test, where you try on the costume, and you go onto the bridge, and they take pictures and film to see what it all looks like with hair and makeup. So I put the costume on and walked onto the bridge, and I was just looking down at my shoes, going, "Whoa, how did I get here?" Like, because I was like, I'm not, because obviously I recognise the bridge from seeing it. I didn't really watch it purposefully, but I'd seen Star Trek. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it was kind of surreal, is what it was. It was all a dream because it felt so quick. Everything just happened so quickly, and suddenly I had that moment on the bridge going, I can't believe I'm here.
And also, I would love to thank you what you bring to it's amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So there's a bunch of, since we already started talking about Star Trek again, there is a bunch of questions from the app. One of them, well, the top one is, which Spock actor do you like most and why?
Ethan Peck! No, because do you know what? I genuinely, he's done an amazing job. And especially during season 1, I was with him a lot. We're in a lot of scenes together. And I saw him, I saw that he felt massively under pressure because he was like, I've got to be, I know he'd done Discovery already, but he's got such, like, big shoes to fill, exactly. So, he did incredible. I couldn't have done what he does because he has to remember all that science, like, babble, and he has to maintain that kind of detached, emotionless Vulcan thing. And how I find it easy to remember lines is because of the emotion that's attached to it, right? That's how it becomes easy to learn lines. But he can't do that. And I was like, oh my god, you're literally just memorizing words. I was like, I'm memorizing feelings, you're memorizing words. So that's really hard. And he pulled it off. So I think to be, to come after what's his name, Nimoy, that's it, Leonard Nimoy, I knew that. After coming at Leonard Nimoy, and then to, be just as good as or better than him, is incredible.
So another question is if you speak Klingon.
Oh, do I speak? Do I? I mean, I don't. Does I can't think. She probably understands a bit. I can't think if I speak it. I don't think I speak it. No. think she leaves that to like the others. You know, she's like, go on.
Also, there's a question if you ever seen Star Trek Voyager series, and if yes, why is the best?
No, I haven't seen it. Sorry.
Well, so that has to come. Okay, so there is also questions about that very special episode of Elysian Kingdom.
Yay! My favorite episode.
So the question from the app is if you enjoy the costume for your character.
Oh my god, it's my favourite part of Star Trek full stop. That dress was so incredible to wear. Like, I had so many fittings because it was a real long process of, because there's so many different layers under it as well, and different things added to it, and obviously what made it even more special was, so when the script came through, and we've been told at the very beginning of the season that there's going to be an episode where we're all playing opposite of ourselves. And they were like, and you, Christina, will be playing a princess. And I was like, oh my god, okay. And then when the script came out, I was like, this is incredible. Oh my goodness. And I suddenly thought, I know what could make that character better. I think it'd be much better if she has a dog in her arms, like a trophy dog, you know, kind of thing. I was like, I have a dog. So I asked them and I said, what do you think about Princess Talia having a dog? And could Runa, my dog, play the princess's dog? And they were like, okay, we'll see what we can do. So the next script comes out, and Runa is in it as Princess Runa, and oh my god, I screamed. I was like, this is the best thing ever. It made me so happy, and literally, if it was the only thing like I ever did in Star Trek, I would be happy. If you get those 2 scenes in 6 seasons of Star Trek, I'm happy. That's it.
So you got your costume, but Runa got her costume too.
Oh yeah, she had costume fittings.
So
You know.
how did that went? Like, you know.
Yeah, so I showed her, actually, if you go on her Instagram, you can see videos of the process of how Runa underscore, okay guys, you want to know, right? Runa underscore Ewok on Instagram. And there's a video there of her where I'm showing her costume. I said, oh, do you want to see what? I said, show her a picture of her costume, and she's like, and she's like on the phone, like they're scratching the phone. And then she's walking to her first costume fitting, and she sat there waiting while I measure her, then walking in her costume for the first time. It was so funny. And she was so well behaved on the shoot day and everything as well. But that costume was so big and heavy, and like walking through the corridors, I'm dragging half of the set with me every time. And I couldn't bend down to pick up Runa, so I had to have somebody come and pass Runa, take Runa from me. And even sitting down, I couldn't sit in a chair like this. I had to. I found out it's easier just to sit on the floor. So I just sat on the floor, and then it was just a corset, so that was super tight. But yeah, it was incredible. My favourite episode by far.
So can we expect Bruna in the second season?
No, I'm still recovering. Yeah, the second season that I tried, but the only episode it would have worked in just happened to be that the same director of the Elysian Kingdom who was directing. When I asked her, she said, I think it's no. I said, why? Well, you know, she was in my last episode, and I think, you know, I don't want it to be a thing. I was like, and she's like, no. And I was like, okay. And then I tried, but then I thought, no, maybe she has a point. And then, well, listen, I'm not gonna let them get off so light in season 3. Don't worry. I think she'll be in season 3 somehow.
On Star Trek, I have a question on another project that you did, which is Heirs of the Night.
Yeah.
The TV show. I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the whole, but like I was looking in the production and it looked like some insane production all over the Europe.
Yeah. That was what's one of my favourite jobs I've ever done actually, other than Star Trek. And great director, writer, Diederik van Bruin, who's Dutch, and a great cast as well, and a great role. That role, when I got the role of Calvina, I played, she's this vampire hunter. And I had to wear, I mean, I don't want to give it away, but I basically kind of become a vampire as well. And yeah, the production values were amazing on that. It looked great.
Yeah.
But it was a German, Norwegian, and the money was from somewhere else. I can't remember. There was like 3 countries where it was funded by. And it kind of came. I don't know. Did you guys get it here? Or?
That's the problem, and we don't. But it's on YouTube if anyone wants to see it.
Yeah, it wasn't really. It didn't really like land because I just think it didn't like. Even in the UK, it was on like a children, and it's a family drama. It's not really. It is for children, but it's for children aged like I think from 12 to 16. So it's more of like a family thing. And yeah, I think it just missed the mark with where it was sold and the marketing and stuff. But yeah, really great time in Croatia, filming in Croatia. We were staying on the beach, by the beach, and I would swim in the sea before work. And then there were bits where we were on a boat, filming on a boat, which wasn't my favourite because I get seasick. But great sets, and then we're in Latvia and Lithuania, Norway, and Croatia, yeah. All over Croatia, different places.
So, like, from the look of it in the show, it looked quite cold. So it seems like you were quite lucky for like shooting, you know, in the opposite.
The opposite. Yeah, exactly. It was cold. It was boiling hot, but we had to pretend it was freezing. So, like, some people, I mean, I got off lightly, but some people are in furs and all sorts of, like, absolutely, ugh. But, yeah, and so, and obviously the other thing we're talking about is Halo. I did a TV series, Halo, where we were filming in the freezing cold in Iceland, wearing hardly anything, but had to pretend it was absolutely boiling hot. Like, we had to pretend like we were in saunas, and it was absolutely freezing. So, yeah.
I was thinking, like, did they have to like digitally remove the, you know, that
Yeah, they must have done that because yeah, that definitely was happening. Yeah.
I was reading like they had to like give you water on your face to look sweaty.
Yes.
That sounds like a nightmare.
I know when you're really cold. I know.
Oh wow. So you've done a lot of productions, like European productions, but also like in America. Can you feel any difference in the approach when you're shooting or?
Yeah. The Americans are generally higher budget, a bigger team, a bigger crew, and therefore you can see the difference most of the time on screen. It looks more expensive, and the Europeans tend to be more laid back. Like for example, as of the night, you know, you don't get trailers as actors, and that's the norm. There's no trailer to go and relax or whatever. You just kind of all together in a tent kind of thing. It's normal to finish at a reasonable time, 7 p.m., and then everyone has a beer together at the end of the day. Like that's a normal thing. They provide you beers. Whereas in America that would never happen. And also the hours, like European productions are, you know, 11 hours shooting, and then you've got an extra hour where you're doing hair and makeup and stuff, so about 12 hours, which is kind of reasonable. In America or Canada, you basically finish when you finish. So we were doing, yeah, some crazy hours on Star Trek. Yeah, you know, they call it a Friday, so because you're going later and later, you start early on a Monday morning, you might start filming at 7 o'clock, so or 8 o'clock. But you've got to be in makeup and hair, you know, a couple of hours before that. You've got to travel there before that. and then you might wrap at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So then the next day you've got to have 12 hours turnaround. So the next day you start later. So each day is getting later and later and later. So by the time you come to Friday, they call it Saturday because it goes into Saturday. So you're finishing at like sometimes, probably on Saturday you finish at 3 a.m.
Oh, that's brutal.
You go home, you sleep, and the next week recovering. Sunday, you've got to prepare for Monday.
Yeah. So what do you do, like for recharge and unwind after long shooting?
Meditation. My routine is I go home, I have a bath, I get in the bath, I have a bath bomb from Lush or whatever, and sometimes I'll have to meditate to calm down. Sometimes the bath is enough, sometimes I meditate. Because also you're dealing with a lot of people, like you're on set, it's not just people you're acting with, you've got people with costume coming to you, makeup coming to you, hair coming to you, the director's coming to you, talking to this person, the props person, you're talking to, there's so many people you're dealing with, so it's a lot of energy being expelled throughout the day. So you're kind of like this, and when you get home you kind of need to just relax. So it takes you a while to unwind, and then I will try and sleep, as long as possible, but yeah, it's quite intense, yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that like you use, your mind so much when you're acting. And then like when you just try to float that off, it must be like, it's not that easy, right? Like you can't just like, oh, now go to sleep.
Yeah, but then sometimes you're so exhausted that you just drop straight away, which happens as well, especially on a Saturday,
So if you look at your whole career, what was your favorite role and why?
There's been a lot of, I've been very lucky, I feel like a lot of them I've loved and enjoyed, and for different reasons, but I think probably my favourite is probably Star Trek, because I've gotten to do so many different things which you won't see yet, but yeah, I think you'll understand why I say that when season 2 comes on, when you've seen all of season 2. But yeah, I think it's given me opportunities that I couldn't have dreamed of, and I just never would have thought that Star Trek, of all things, would have brought me what it's brought me, and the opportunities it's given me.
Yesterday we talked a little bit about your role in Doctor Who.
Yes.
Can you tell us, maybe for some people who weren't here yesterday, how was the experience?
Yeah, so Doctor Who, I still can't get over how people remember Lorna Bucket after all these years, and it was one episode. So that in itself, is incredible to me, that the fandom of Doctor Who is very similar to Star Trek in a way, that how it's, so popular and loved. For me, I probably was only filmed for 2-3 weeks max. And they just accepted me as part of the family straight away, because it was me, Catherine, Neve, Dan Starkey, Francis Barber, and Matt and Karen and Arthur. They all literally just took us in and made us feel part of the team from day one. That was really lovely, and seeing kind of prosthetic aliens for the first time, seeing them walking around, and I remember just seeing them, and I guess the director was looking at, they were parading them out kind of thing, in a line. I guess the director was checking to make sure that everything looked good or whatever. I was like, oh my goodness, those are incredible. I'd never seen anything really like that before. And to be part of that, the legacy of Doctor Who and Star Trek is, I think, not many people have done both.
So I feel like, so you got Star Wars, kind of. Doctor Who, is there anything else, from this, Comic Con type of TV shows that you would like to be in?
To be honest, I think I've done sci-fi a lot. But I think I've done it quite well. Not well, but So, not really. No, I think
Maybe some fantasy? House of the Dragon?
I've not seen that, so I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, if it's a great role, but yeah, I think I've done enough sci-fi. I foresee the arm going on for a while, so to be honest, I feel like I like to broaden, because it has mostly been sci-fi my career. I like to broaden the horizons and go into different things, and you know.
Something maybe more music.
Oh yes, oh yes. Oh yes. All right. So I'm kind of. So we had about 10 months off from when we finished the last season 2, and so I kind of decided to go back to one of my original passions, which is singing. So I kind of just put it out into the universe. I was like, I always said I would go back to it one day, and I thought, well, now's the time. And I thought I'll just put it out into the universe, see what happens. I want to do a single, just one song, put a single out, see what happens, just for fun. If only my mum listens, fine. And then, just through a weird, random coincidence, or series of events, whatever you want to call it, I was introduced to Ed Sheeran's producer, and I met him. Well, no, I went down to the studio, and this studio, but you know, it was quite intimidating. There's Lady Gaga, there's been there, Amy Winehouse, all these top musicians, singers, songwriters he's worked with. Like, you name it, he's worked with them. I was like, oh God, I've never done this before. Am I going to be any good? And we went down and we wrote a song together. And he was like, right, okay, so you want to do an EP? I was like, yeah. Well, let's do one. We'll do your EP, 4 songs, and I'll release it. I'll give you a 4-song EP record deal. And so I was like, oh my God, Ed Sheeran's producer's gonna give me a record deal. So I have my EP, which I found out yesterday. Somebody kindly told me in the audience stands for economic production. Also, mini album. It's 4 songs, and that will be, I'm going to release song by song. So the first song will be released June 16th. It's called Twin Flames. And then I have some more singles coming out later in the year, probably like September kind of time. So if you want to follow and have a look at that, I'll be releasing, it's not all set up yet, but when it is, I'll be posting on my Instagram, which is Christina Chong X. If you want to go and have a follow. And also on TikTok, because apparently I have to be on TikTok to release music. Apparently that's the thing. So, I mean, help me out, guys, because it's really hard. It's a full-time job doing TikTok. I tried. I was really committed to it first. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I just got bored. I was like, I can't bother. So just help me out. Follow me on TikTok and tell your friends when it comes out. And just, stream. It'll be on Spotify, iTunes, all of the SoundCloud, and all of that.
Alright, so unfortunately we run out of time, but I have one last thing. It's a present.
Oh, it's a present, not for you.
It's for Runa. It's a little card. Hopefully it will thank her. It has like a full embroiderment.
Oh my
So you will remember, well, you remember Prague, but now you can remember a little bit. And the name is like, it sounds just like a, gentleman. It sounds like a name, but it actually means like, let's go outside. So that's the name, it's a Czech brand. So, yes, hopefully you like it.